Guys, today the Nigerian Football Federation General Secretary, Sanusi Yusuf, visited the girls in the camp. Obviously, the girls are also, after winning the championship, hoping to get all their bonuses and their allowances. And they've told them, I mean, the climate here in Nigeria, the economic climate, is not, we already know what we're going through. And there's a need for us to apply a little bit of caution while we wait for our bonuses, allowances to be paid. And the General Secretary went on and talked about the Super Eagles as well, who are yet to collect their bonuses and allowances for the last 2 games that they've played. And even before the last 2 games, they needed to wait for close to 4-5 months before they got the allowances for the friendly games that they played against Mali and Luxembourg. I mean, at this time, patience is a virtue that all of us must have to cultivate, Yemi.
I sympathize with the NFF. As much as you want to give them knocks when they don't do things right, in this regard, I'm tongue-tied because the reality stares you in the face. I mean, these guys are not magicians. There are a lot of challenges out there. Even without the challenges, it was difficult enough. Now with this, I mean, you can't really talk about funding now without anybody throwing recession in your face. I mean, not just sports. It's everywhere. I guess that's why Aisha Falade is saying these are peculiar times, you know. And I really feel sorry for the girls. And I guess that's why the General Secretary is throwing it in, because the argument has always been that you favor the guys. But they say, look, okay, even the guys that you say we favor, this is what
they are going through.
This is what they are going through. Ideally, we should be rolling out the drums, celebrating these girls. And I mean, if the times were right, we will be sitting here and criticizing them. I remember some years back when they just won the tournament and we brought them back, I think in a trailer truck or something like that.
That's actually the Super Falcons.
You know,
Super Falcons.
I'm talking of the Falcons. I'm talking of the Falcons.
Yeah, 2010,
so,
yeah.
You know, we all sat here and we criticized it. The time was different. But now, all the things you hear, some very shameful.
I understand your point, but Cosmos, you know, these are girls. The circumstances and the way you relate with the girls is a lot different from how you relate with the guys. Yeah. We're fortunate that the guys are very understanding at this point, and they've told the NFF that, look, we know what is going on at the moment, so we are not pushing. We are not putting pressure on anybody in terms of our bonuses and allowances. But can we really say the same for these girls? We know the girls are different.
Very different.
You know, they are very different. The temperament level is different.
Certainly.
Their needs are peculiar, and what they need is a lot more urgent than the guys. And we just find somewhere, something to make these girls happy. Well, wherever.
If you talk about the Super Eagles, I mean, many of the players play in top clubs in Europe. Many of the players probably might not need the bonus.
They need all their money.
They need the money.
Everybody needs the money. If they are talking about,
this is where I'm going.
They are a lot more comfortable.
This is where I'm going to.
But these guys are
very comfortable. They are very, very comfortable. Now, a whole lot of them, I'm talking about the Super Eagles player, they play in Europe. They get their salaries as at when due. Now, this on a scale of 1 to 100. On a scale of 1 to 100,
hold on,
Super Falcons, how many of them play?
Hold on. We assume they get their salaries as at when due. The example of Ogenyo Nazi is a good one.
Ogenyo Nazi is like 1 out of 100. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think we should talk about that. But when you talk about the Super Falcons, I mean, you can name the players that are playing in Europe or wherever they are playing.
We have a bulk of the team playing at home.
Yeah, a whole lot of them play at home and they are not being paid salaries. Aisha Falode just said it. A whole lot of them are not being paid salaries. A whole lot of them are not being paid for months. Exactly. They won a competition, but they have not been paid. Now, and many of them are breadwinners of their families. Now, you have to realize that many of them are in the national team, and because they are in the national team, they expect that after they win a competition, that they will certainly be paid. And of course, they came back on Sunday. They've been in Abuja since. There have been talks about premises of visiting Mr. President and all that.
Mr. President is not around.
Well,
Mr. President is in Dakar. So
I understand.
I
understand. What I'm trying to say is this: the NFF as far as I'm concerned, no matter how we talk about it, no matter how we talk about the recession and all that, we think we should beat them. We should beat them with the stick, because they know from Namibia that the competition for the qualifiers and everything will be in Cameroon at this time.
Hold on.
So,
hold on.
I mean, there's this disparity.
Hold on, Cosmos. They know that the competition will be in this time. They've put in their papers. They've made the application for bailout and all of that. But is it not from the same government that the bailout will come from?
Well,
we can go on and on and on, and I think it's unfair if you want to criticize the NFF for this. I mean, there are other things you could flog all the members of the executive for, but on this one, I would calmly say that I sympathize with the girls, and I sympathize also with the NFF, because no father wants to look at this or his child or you know, and you want to comfort them, but you can't. Their hands are tied. Now, if you are talking of, I do agree with you that somehow, somewhere, the NFF, if you have to go and beg, if you have to scratch,
I mean, they're the African champion.
Be seen
to be doing something,
to be trying
to do something.
Yeah, which I think they're doing.
They made a payment of half a million to all the girls.
Yeah. The results are not what we want to hear for now, but they are making an attempt. But I guess what Cosmos is trying to say, which I would agree with, is that this has happened the way it has happened. But it should not be, we should not just say, oh, because it's recession, you go into tournament.
I mean, you don't say that. You don't say that.
You understand? So, after this, because it's almost turned to an embarrassment now, after this, we should find a way that if we know that we're going for a tournament and these people might likely win, whatever their entitlements, find a way to solve it, maybe outside the box or whatever.
Wherever the money will come from.
Because this has happened before.
This is the immediate impact of the recession. Now we are into it. We know what we are into.
We have to find a
so we have to find a way.
That is what we're talking about.
That is why whatever happens from here now is when I will blame them. At this point, I can understand. But from this moment,
we should find a way.
Onward, find a way.
Because we can't keep talking about recession.
I mean, you cannot blame everything on recession.
And then not do what we're supposed to do. Yes. So I agree with you. And I think that's the challenge for the Nigerian Football Federation. We have to think outside of the box, do something. And that's why I love what Onye said on the show yesterday. When he said, look, First Lady, the wife of the President, wife of state governors, can help to alleviate the pains of these girls.
Don't just congratulate them.
I mean, don't just saying it yesterday.
Don't just congratulate them.
I mean, not just
issue
on Twitter,
a press releases. The wife of the Senate President, for example. No matter how small, give these girls something. So that they can hold on to something.
And like we say, do the needful.
Do the needful. I think that's how we just wrap this up.
Yeah,
do the needful. And going forward, really, the women should also be seen to be doing a lot more.
Yeah.
The women, our top ladies, should be seen to be doing something to encourage women football in Nigeria. Guys, let's run very quickly. Unfortunately, no woman amongst us. Cecilia is not available at the moment. She would have done a lot more in terms of mobilizing support for these girls. Let's talk about the guys. The Super 4, the Nigerian Professional Football League Super 4 is starting tomorrow in Enugu. Let me show you the fixtures for tomorrow. Tomorrow, there are 2 games. There will be 2 games every match day. We are going to be having 3 match days. Wednesday, that's tomorrow. Then we have another one on Friday. And then the last games will be on Sunday. But let's see what the fixtures are for day 1. FC Yoba, champions of the Federation Cup, will be taking on Wiki Tourists. Both teams will be campaigning for Nigeria in the CAF Confederation Cup. And then Rangers will be facing Rivers United in the second game. Both teams will be playing in the CAF Champions League. All right, so that's the fixture for two.
And if these teams are anything close to what they were last season, we have interesting games.
Interesting games. Top quality football will be on parade in Enugu. All right, let's move away very quickly from the Super 4. We'll talk some more about it tomorrow when the first round of games are played. Let's talk about a program of the Nigerian Football Federation that is very, very encouraging. And we are happy because channels are also involved in grassroots football development in Nigeria with the Channels National Kids Cup. But then the Nigerian Football Federation and the Future Eagles Championship, that's what they call it, is been going on, and the crucial stages will be taking place in Ijebu-Ode and Lagos from Thursday up till Monday next week. Very, very good, Yemi. This is a fantastic program started by Sani Lulu when he was NFF president, sustained by Aminu Megiri when he was NFF president. Now the Amaju Pinnick administration have also stepped it up. Fantastic, and it has produced results.
That's the way to go. You have to continue good things. And we're already seeing the results, talent's been discovered.
Under 13, under 15.
And that's just the way to go. I'm very happy with this. I hope it can be sustained.